What's up guys, it's Red back once again. Today we have a different style of video going on. It's very much going to be a bunch of character predictions by me and a lot of me relying on just my gut and feel for the game. We're going to be going over some characters I think might be sleeper picks for Smash Ultimate. And what I mean by that is characters who I think some people might overlook, but you should be wary of or watching out for them heading into Smash Ultimate. Now this is not a direct tier list. I can theory craft that in another video if there is enough interest. Now there's been a lot of talk about how Pichu and Olimar are shaping up to be early contenders for best characters in the game. The characters who I'm talking about in this video are ones who I think have really solid potential and will surprise a lot of people, and most of them are characters who aren't seen as top 5 or 10 contenders right now. This list itself is not ranked or anything like that. I'm just going to be talking about the characters in general. That said, let's get started. First up, we're talking about Pichu. Now, a lot of players right out of the gate, I think, will have this stigma that Pichu is a bad character because of Smash Bros. Melee. That was the last time Pichu appeared in a Smash game, so it's been like about 16 years now. And Pichu always had a reputation of being one of the worst characters in Melee. Well, because he was actually pretty just bad. A lot of his tools got outshined by the rest of the cast, but this is Ultimate. Now I mentioned earlier that Pikachu is actually considered by quite a few players to be top 2 in this game, and that helps Pichu by default since they share a lot of similarities and moves. In addition, I think Pichu's ability to damage himself could prove way more useful in this game than it did in Melee. Kill confirms will probably be a big thing again in Ultimate as they were in Smash 4. Pichu's ability to manipulate his own damage percent will allow him to escape some of those deadly timings. In addition, he's really quick, he has a spike with thunder, and he has a few combos of his own. I think anyone taking this character lightly like this is Melee is going to be in for quite a surprise. He's not going to be the very highest of tiers, but I feel he's certainly going to be better than half the cast this time around. Pokemon Trainer is going to be incredibly versatile in my opinion. Now their last appearance was in Brawl and they suffered heavily from the mechanics around the character in general. There was a stamina system in place that really hindered the character and forced you to switch Pokemon at times when you didn't necessarily want to. If you didn't, your moves were significantly weaker and your character was slower the longer they were in battle. In Ultimate, that system is gone and you're now free to keep whoever you want on the field as long as you want without feeling disadvantaged. And the swapping between Pokemon has been massively buffed. It seems as if it has a frame 1 invincibility, allowing you to possibly even use it to mash out of certain combos. And whereas the old switching mechanic in Brawl felt a bit clunky, this one is extremely fluid and allows Ivysaur in particular access to a better recovery when off stage, as the swap to Charizard is rather seamless. Pokemon Trainer has a ton of good options, and options are always a good thing to have. I think the versatility of having this 3-in-1 character is going to prove incredibly useful in Ultimate. Next up we have Zelda. Now Zelda is a character who has consistently been toward the lower third of the tier list across every iteration of Smash Bros. She's been in. However, things may be shaping up for her in Ultimate. Both her jab and up air have seen decent buffs, and Din's fire, her side B, no longer puts her in that horrendous freefall. She got a few other character buffs as well, but one thing I think will help her a lot in Ultimate is everyone having only one air dodge. Din's fire is a projectile with a lot of control by the player. This move is going to give Zelda the ability to force out the opponent's air dodge at times, which can give her a much easier time ledge guarding. And it's no secret that recovering in this game is going to be a tad harder. Zelda's up B in particular though is going to give her a much safer way to the ledge than a lot of other characters will have. And I've heard the rumblings that she may have some good kill potential with her throws into up airs at decently low percents. So overall, similar to Pichu, I think this is a character that people will underestimate due to her past games and will probably catch a lot of people off guard with how well Zelda's options are. Ike is up next, and he's received quite a few changes since his previous version in Smash 4. His aerials have received a lot of changes, and overall he's traded a small bit of damage across the board on his moves for much better frame data, meaning his moves come out faster and have less ending lag. I think that is going to benefit him hugely in Ultimate. His up air seems like it's going to be really solid and will be a great tool for him to score some early kills and set up juggles as well. Now his recovery is interesting because his side B dash will give him the option of mixing up which recovery he's going to use, and with most recoveries seemingly nerfed across the board in Ultimate, Ike having a second option could prove to be quite useful when getting back onto the stage. I think Ike is going to feel really oppressive to play against in the hands of a good player, and you'll feel as if you're just getting carried off the stage by his buffed aerial moves. Expect to see Ike making some waves in Ultimate. Shulk is a character that has been decently high on some people's watch lists, and I feel pretty much in agreement with that. One of the cleaner changes for Shulk, and something that could give him crazy potential, is basically the monado art wheel. Now for those who played Shulk in Smash 4, you know how much of a pain it was to change art forms. Ultimate has streamlined the process, and rather than cycling through each art till you get to the one you want, now you can jump straight into the art you want using the analog stick. The swiftness in these form changes could open Shulk up for some crazy potential with switching art forms mid-combo, allowing him to pull off some pretty savage stuff. I think his speed art also gets a pretty nice buff thanks to the game engine of Ultimate. Since characters have more options out of run now, that inherently buffs the speed art in my opinion, and his dash dancing is going to actually feel insane. With all the options Shulk is now going to have, and with a couple other buffs that he received, I could see him being a character that is able to consistently score early kills and a candidate for a top tier slot. Now, ice climbers are not going to be the ice climbers of old, and personally I think that's a healthy change for the game in general. There will be no chain grab to death here, no wobbles to be found. So while I don't think they will be at the very top of the tier list, I think their kit has some room to make some noise. These guys are powerful, they really pack a punch. If you're taking hits from both of the climbers on their moves, you're looking at 20% at least on a lot of their moves. And their up air has had significant buffs, and overall is probably one of their best changes. It has only 14 frames landing lag compared to the 30 they had in Brawl. This opens them up to be able to juggle you a lot easier now, and it's going to be a painful juggle at that, since again, you will be taking 21% if both climbers hit you on that up air. Now while their grabs are not what they used to be, they can still be incredibly effective at early percents, allowing you to combo into some of their tilt moves. Overall, ice climbers can dish out a ton of damage. Their main problem might be getting in on the opponent, but if they do, expect them to dish out a whopping amount of damage. Rool is a very interesting character. Since the dawn of Smash, most heavy characters haven't been known to make waves in the meta. There have been a few exceptions here or there, but generally they've been average or below average. Rool seems like he will fit as one of those exceptions. This guy just feels like he has so many unique things about him and options to throw out. He has crazy super armor, he has a spike with his back air, he has projectiles so he can play from range as well, which typically heavy characters have not been able to do. His hitboxes also seem to be quite generous as well. This is a character that's going to have a lot of versatility and a lot of power, and him being a heavy character with this many options may be something that throws a lot of people off in the start of the game, as heavy characters have often had a linear playstyle in the past. So Rool's options will give him a fresh take on this category of fighters, and I think he's certainly going to be someone to watch out for. And lastly, a quick mention of Simon and Richter. Now I mentioned earlier how I thought Ike might end up feeling oppressive to play against. Double down on that for these two characters. The range and power that these guys have on their projectiles is insane. Axes are going to be killing people left and right. Holy Cross reaches way too far. I can see a lot of characters just straight up struggling to get in on Simon and Richter and deal any damage to them. I also think their down tilt is going to be an extremely good option for them that could prove very useful as an out of run option in a lot of matchups. Out of all the characters I've mentioned so far, I do think they have the most potential to be really high on the tier list, but that's also why I'm keeping it brief for them, as I think a lot of people will see them coming. But that brings us to the end of the video, guys. Let me know any of your thoughts down below. What characters are your sleeper picks for Smash Ultimate and why? My Discord server link will be on the screen and in the description below. Same with my Twitch. My previous videos are on the screen right there. Check some of them out if you have time. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on for more future content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.